everyone, today I'm going to be doing a 4-prompt drawing challenge. So this is a collab with the Pruple Fox Channel, aka Sitara Mazumdar. If you want to check out her channel and her video, I will leave that in the iCard and a link in the description for you to check her out. But we did both choose 2 prompts, and we would be taking all of those prompts and creating a drawing with it. So our prompts were spiral, fancy, star, and peach. So these top 2 were kind of leaning heavily into 2 different themes. The one on the left was more of the spiral theme, and this girl was having a peach in her hand and was having star necklace and a star belt. And I also gave her streaks of red hair because I wanted to have some more like peachy colors in the drawing. And the top left was a bunch of like space themes with stars, and there was also like a sort of peach and spiral emblem on her suit. And the bottom left was more of a different interpretation into spiral, with the magic spiraling through her hand. And also the guy on the left was sort of if I was doing an interpretation of it with a guy. But I ultimately liked the girl on the bottom left in the end, and decided that I would take the spirals that were on the top left's dress and I would take the top right's hair, and I would take the spirals from the bottom right's design as well. And I really liked that, so I decided that that's what I would go with, while still keeping the bottom left characters' accessories and that sort of thing. So with that, I ultimately started going to the final illustration, and I was sketching, and also while I was trying to do the sketch, I was trying to think of like this girl's backstory, because in case you didn't know, I really like designing characters with my Kingdom Wars series, where every character design advanced the plot, and I also was treating this kind of similar to how I was doing my drawing birthstones as people video, which I did a while back as well. So what I was trying to think of was like, well, how did she get her magical powers, and how is she able to afford all these like fancy clothes? Because her dress was seemingly really fancy, because it was going to be that dress with a bunch of spirals on it. So she had to have some like way of getting all these fancy clothing, right? So I was thinking she was probably in the elite. So maybe not necessarily a princess, but probably like a duchess or some form of higher elite. So most likely a duchess or something along that line. And the peach with a spiral on it, which was not only on her shoes but also on her belt, was probably a family emblem of some sort. And she was also probably highly regarded for her magical abilities, with this magic that seemed to somehow spiral out of her hands. Now, I also kind of wanted to do like some sort of plot twist with it, so I was thinking like maybe she was highly regarded for it, but it turned out it was some sort of curse that she wasn't entirely in the know about. So the more she used it, the more it would change certain things about her. I think it would mainly change more physical appearance than like change other things. So like her hair might have been more of like a reddish peachy color before, but then because of her curse and because she kept using its magical abilities more, it changed her hair to more of a blonde color. And she didn't really mind this that much first, but then she started realizing it more, but ultimately decided that her powers were probably good things, since they were only seeming to change hair color and didn't seem to do that much as far as changing physical appearance or changing anything else. So I don't know. As far as maybe her parents went, they were still trying to figure out how to fix it, since it still seemed to be a curse, and at this point it was only changing hair color, but they didn't know if it would change anything else. So I was also thinking that maybe she would go out at night and practice her powers under the stars, and that was something that she had a lot of fun doing. And maybe at times she would try to like make her abilities and magical powers sort of try to replicate her family's emblem, or try to like do these sort of like more aesthetic things with her powers sometimes, more of like actually practical things. But in the end, she still had a lot of fun trying to do all sorts of fancy tricks with her powers and that sort of thing. So yeah, that's what I had so far as her backstory went. And for some of the footage with the sketch and the liner, sadly some of that did get a little bit lost, and I couldn't use it, but I think in the end I really liked this design, and I really liked this character. I don't have a name though, so if you can think of a name for this character, please let me know in the comments down below. But I was also trying to do some like lighting effects, so I was trying to have it show that like this magical ability of hers was sort of casting like lights on her face. It was like lighting up her face, like not in the sense that it was like lighting up her face internally, but like it was casting a light on her hair, on her face. Like if you were to shine a flashlight on yourself, obviously there would be light bouncing back off of your face, that sort of thing. So here I was trying to show that, but I don't know, I feel like I may need more practice with showing lighting effects. But in the end, I still think that this drawing was very fun, and I can see that I'm doing the lighting more, trying to show it on like the dress and her arms and fingers and that sort of thing. And now I'm starting with the family emblem that's on her shoes and her belt, and I really like that sort of angle, that like the reason that some of these accessories are on her belt and her shoes are because they're family emblem. I feel like the stars, though, are mainly just because she likes the stars. So she decided to add that onto her belt and into her hair. And since the stars are something that she can like really practice her magic under, she decided to sort of put a memento of that on her belt and her hair. And now I'm adding in the freckles, and I'm also trying to add in some star highlights in places, because I felt like that would be really fun. Like having highlights in her eyes. Like, I'm not doing that at this point, but I might do that a little later. Of adding in, like, highlights to her eyes, because I felt like that would be really fun. And I don't add, like, pupils or things a whole lot. Like, and besides, I feel like the pupils of stars in someone's eyes was kind of more of a thing that went to one of my other OCs, Star, that I drew in another video, and that was really fun. But I decided to do that with the highlights instead, because I didn't want to have that encourage what another one of my OCs thing. So something that I did with the dress that I found to be really, really fun was that I would add in the blender, and I would kind of take away some of the color to try to make it seem almost like a gradient from a darker green to a lighter green without it actually being a gradient. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then I started doing the shoes, and the shoes honestly were pretty fun, but I feel like that was mainly more because of the family emblem of like the peach and spiral. So that was mainly more of the fun with the shoes and the belt. So after that, I started actually doing the peaches, and drawing the peaches was so much fun. I looked up some references of peaches, and peaches are mainly like more pink, if anything, so I had to do a lot of pink, and the pink was really fun. So that was mainly why I did the hair and the shoes with more pink, because I wanted to have the pink in the design more. So the yellow was already in like 3 different places, but the pink was in only a couple other places, so I wanted to make sure I had it in like the hair and the shoes. So now I'm actually doing the magical effects that are on, like, the entirety of, like, her arms. They're, like, spiraling around her arms and things. So, I decided to try to make that seem a little more magic-y, I guess. Like, trying to show that there's, like, a bunch of depth with them and that sort of thing. It was kind of hard to do at first, but I think that in the end, what I got was pretty good. Oh yeah, and I made her eyes, like, pink. And, I don't know. Something tells me that if the character's eyes are that light of pink, like, since I make the eyes usually more, natural, more realistic, I feel like the eyes might also be something that had to do with the curse that got changed to be more, I guess, curse-like, like, to show that she's kind of cursed. But, still really cool. And then I decided to do the grass. I made it really light at first, but then I kind of realized that, hey, she is probably doing this at night, so the grass should probably be a little more darker. And then I added some grass details. And then did the night sky. And that was also pretty fun, doing the night sky. It does look a little streaky though, but I didn't mind that because there was going to be also a bunch of stars in the background. And you can see I brought in my white Posca pen to do all of these stars. And something that I kept doing, which was really annoying, but I ultimately fixed it in the end, was that I kept putting my hand into the Posca, which was kind of annoying, but I fixed it in the end, so oh well. And I was thinking about making the green Posca go around where the magic was, but then ultimately deciding against it because it was not similar enough green, so I brought in a different green to make it look like the magic was kind of like lighting everywhere else as well. Like, it wasn't just lighting her, it was showing a bunch of light. It was emitting a whole bunch of light. And you can see that I'm going back onto the stars again because I kind of messed that up. But in the end, I think this drawing turned out really well, and I made her highlights super big because I thought that would be really cool to do. And with that, the piece is done. Now, if you like this video and you want content similar to this, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. That would be greatly appreciated. And go check out the Pruple Fox channel and see her video. And with that, I hope you have a magnificent day, and I will see you all later.